In 2023, TikTok officially beat out Google as the #1 search engine for millennials. And so for today, I'm going to be using TikTok as my only search engine to try to figure out what exactly it is that millennials like so much about TikTok, because I feel like there's an opportunity here, or there's something that most of us are not understanding. Now, I want to give today a fair shake. And so what I did is I looked up what are the most common things that people are actually searching in Google. And it turns out there's 3 types of main things people type in Google. Now, the first one really surprised me. It's what's called navigational queries. This is actually the most common type of thing people are typing into Google, apparently. You can see here 4 out of the top 5 things people type into Google are literally them just trying to find a website and using Google to get there. So yes, a vast majority of Google searches today are actually just people doing navigational queries that are too lazy to type in the letters .com at the end of whatever they're typing. Now, I know we're not going to be using TikTok for that. No one is using TikTok for that. But the other 2 types of queries are much more likely that TikTok can potentially replace Google. And that's informational queries and transactional queries. Now, informational queries are all the things we're typically using Google for, like places to go, medical advice, how to fix problems, how to achieve desires, things like that. And transactional is money, right? We're pulling out our credit card and we're looking for the best of something or the cheapest of something. We're looking to buy something and we're using Google kind of as our primary research driver for that transactional search. So I'm going to try to mold my day tomorrow for 24 hours in such a way that all of these different types of queries come up naturally. And when they come up, I will only use TikTok to find the answer. All right. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, usually the first thing when I do when I wake up is I check the news. Okay, I use Google News and I just kind of see what the news is for the day. But today we're going to use TikTok and see how current news I can find on TikTok. All right, so we're typing in today's news right here, and let's see what we come up with. We're just gonna click on videos, and okay, I'm really looking for stuff from today. So you can see 21 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 11 hours ago. So it looks like it's at least giving me current stuff. It seems to know that I'm looking for something today. So looking at it, it looks like news places like NBC or just people post kind of like little mini events of the day. But what I really like is actually this Nick Jackson person. So it looks like there are people that build entire account around just daily news. So it looks like he gives you a 60-second daily news update. So you can see if I click this one right here, everything on the news, but in 60 seconds, and I watch this, it looks like it comes up with about 5 different news stories that are kind of the hottest topics of the day. He doesn't have an angle, he doesn't do anything, just gives you the 10-second version. I actually love that. And the reason I love it is because when I go to Google and I type in something, it's all about getting the click, right? These places don't get paid unless they get the click. And so it's all built around these kind of like hyped up headlines that don't actually give you information, try to get you in the click. But the way that this works is it actually just tells you in 60 seconds all the headlines with the one piece of information that's most important in the article. So a good example of what I'm talking about is whenever I go to Google and it'll say something like, scientists explain exactly how much water you need to drink every day, right? That's the headline in Google, and then I gotta go click in and scroll through the article and figure out what exactly that is, even though I'm just looking for like 3 words. But TikTok, in that video that this creator does, is he just gives you 60 seconds and he says, scientists just explain that you need to drink this much water every day, and he moves on. I can live with that. Time to get ready. All right, we're 10 minutes into the day, and this is my first time getting to use TikTok in the wild. I came into my laundry room, and we've had kind of like on and off funny smells in our laundry room for quite a while now. But today it is rank, it is terrible. And today I'm finally gonna solve our problem, and I'm gonna figure out why our laundry room smells so bad. All right, so I'm gonna type in fix smell in LG. It's a front load washer, and we'll see what we come up with right here. All right, so I clicked that video and it's showing me this thing down there in the bottom left corner that I've honestly never seen before. We've had this washing machine for almost 4 years now, and we just found out that that even existed. Oh my gosh, that is 100% absolutely the smell, and there is so much water in there. I gotta go out of here. Now, it turns out today was just destined to be a day of bad smells. I went into my 4-year-old son's room, and he's been potty trained for quite a while, actually. But nighttime's always been just a little bit tougher for him. Now, we wash his sheets literally every single week because we haven't found anything that can stop the monsoon of pee that seems to come out every single night. Now today is no different, but maybe TikTok can solve our problems. Best diapers for overnight leaks. All right, now this one's actually really interesting. I actually learned a lot about how TikTok search works by watching this. You can see here there's two videos. Neither of them actually target diapers. The first one is a mom who is in the same situation I am, asking for help. And when you click into the video, she just says which of these diapers are actually going to do the trick, because she's wasting a lot of money on diapers just like we are. And you can see there's 165 comments from just regular people also hopping in saying this solved my problem, this solved my problem. You can see they're all giving different ideas of what worked for them. Now I really like this because it kind of mixes in like the forum idea. It's almost like a little bit of Reddit and Facebook groups combined in there. You can just post your questions and other TikTokers hop in and help you out. And I'm sure that's especially true in the mom community. But the second video was also really eye-opening. You can see right here it says a hack to prevent leaking overnight. So the first two videos, neither one of them was actually like, these are the best diapers if you have a leaking problem. Instead, this video's got this interesting little hack where you can see she opens up the diaper, and I've actually got to watch and rewatch this whole video to see exactly what she's doing, but the hack essentially seals up the back of the diaper so nothing comes out. Now, I'm a huge fan of the way TikTok's doing this, because a lot of times with Google, the way Google search works is it's so heavily focused on the words that you're typing in, which is nice sometimes, right? It's sometimes nice that it finds the exact thing, but in this case, both of those top two were actually not exactly that, but were very, very helpful. I got to hear from 160 other parents who had similar issues, and then I got to find a parent who actually feels like they solved the problem, not using a new type of diaper, but in another way, and TikTok realized that and showed me that video instead of kind of a standard blog post or video about 5 best diapers for nighttime bedwetters. Who knows? We might actually be able to invite people over to our house again soon. Now, honestly, I think we all know at this point, I think I've thrown TikTok some nice softballs so far this morning, but I'm about to head to work, and today I've got some stuff that I'm gonna be researching that I think is much, much harder for TikTok to actually pull off. So we're gonna come find out. Now, one thing worth mentioning is I did open TikTok as soon as I sat down to check something, and I just realized that 15 minutes of my life disappeared as I scrolled through TikTok videos without paying attention. So I think there is something to be said that when I use Google to search for something, I don't get sucked into this vortex that I can't seem to escape from, watching videos of all kinds of things I wasn't actually looking for. But anyway, the first thing on the agenda today is, a lot of you guys know, if you've been following this channel, I've been trying to transition from being a business owner to an investor. And what we're looking at right now is lifestyle investments. So me and my wife are looking at things that we can invest in, but also kind of enjoy a little bit. And so we're looking at doing a resort in Belize. We're looking at just general Airbnbs across America. And then we're also looking at ski resorts. So the first thing we're gonna look up is Belize, and we're gonna try to figure out, is it a safe place to invest? Is there growth in the economy? Where in Belize? There's good places to look at, things like that. So we're gonna sit back here and we're gonna type in how to buy land in Belize. I'm actually getting pretty good at typing on this keyboard, and I'm pretty proud of that. Anyway, the one that caught my eye is this lady right here. It looks like this video was posted last year, so it's pretty recent. The video is almost 5 minutes long, which is a new thing for TikTok if you're not aware. Videos can be up to 10 minutes, which is kind of a direct competition with YouTube.
So, this was purchased land in Belize, and
to go into Belize, and I'd seen the property, and I do appreciate that.
All right, so this was just a person that purchased land in Belize, and she's kind of going over her whole experience with it. Her name's Holly Driver. Now, she had a lot of useful tips and information and things like that, but it wasn't specifically answering the question that I had. Projected growth in Belize. Now, once again, I'm finding people talk about Belize and how great Belize is, and maybe you should invest in Belize, kind of some hyped up videos and stuff, but no one's really giving me any information, numeric information on whether or not, there's growth projected or what the growth is. Is Belize a safe place to invest? Oh man, I spelled it wrong. Once again, this is all just generic information, people talking about investing in Belize, and I'm not really getting the answer to the questions that are specific that I'm asking.
how much?
Yes.
Now, I think I understand the issue here. Google's been around for a lot longer, and Google actually has access to the entire internet, right? Google pulls its information from the web in general, everything that's ever been put out, whereas TikTok is only pulling information, one, from a much smaller pool because it hasn't been around as long, but two, just stuff that's on TikTok. And when you start to get really specific and into details, no one's posted on TikTok about something quite that detailed. So we're gonna cut the Belize research today. I'm definitely not gonna make any investment decisions based on the information that I just got from TikTok. So we're gonna move on to Airbnbs, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna start looking at where we want to start buying an Airbnb, how we make the choice of the best location, and a few different things. And then we're actually going to look at some Airbnbs. What is the highest performing Airbnb market. All right, you can see right here, plenty of videos answering that exact question. People doing top 5, people doing top 25 Airbnb markets to invest in. And I actually clicked around for a little bit, and it looks like some of these guys are actually paying for services that give them this information, and then they're putting it on TikTok, which is actually really helpful. People do that on Google too. But in 60 seconds, I was able to gather a couple different places that I think we're gonna look into. Now you can see here also, and I clicked into some of these people that were actually giving me the advice to see who they were. And it looks like most of them actually do this for a living. They're in the trenches doing this. You know, they teach it for a living and things like that. So I'm gonna look up real quick how to choose an Airbnb location, since I still have about 30 locations to choose from after all of our research. Now these two on the left really got me. How to find a good location for your first Airbnb. Yes, that's pretty close to us. We've had one other one. How to find a profitable Airbnb in any city. So kind of refine it a little more and actually look within the actual city. Now the first one I feel like had good advice, but clicking into the profile, I'm just not getting the idea that I'm listening to somebody that there's any reason I should be listening to this person. They're posting about all kinds of things, really just kind of their musings, sunglasses, fashion statements, things like that. It does say in this video that they own a lot of property. They, clearly have some experience in this. And clicking into the next one, again, I'd have to dive more into figuring out exactly what this is. Not a ton of followers, but I host rental properties and teach others to do the same. So these are people in the trenches that actually own properties, giving advice on owning properties. Now the reason that I'm kind of very specifically hitting this idea of who these people are that are posting is I've made videos on this channel before about the way that Google operates. And the way Google operates is it gives authority to big pages, right? So Forbes.com, right, has a lot of authority. When Forbes posts, they're able to rank really easily. Now the unfortunate thing about that is a lot of these big companies, these big blogs, aren't necessarily the experts, right? So there could be a writer for Forbes, they go do a bunch of research, and then they write up this article about how to invest in Airbnbs, but they've actually never purchased an Airbnb themselves. And then we're going out and reading it and taking it as gospel, but we're actually learning from someone who's never once done it. And it feels like on TikTok, at least in the niches that I'm currently in, I'm getting a lot more information from people that are kind of boots on the ground. And while it's not 100% verified and maybe not as authoritative as something like Forbes that probably does fact checks and things like that, I also find it to be much more relevant and helpful when it's just somebody doing it. What percentage does Airbnb take? Should I have a hot tub in an Airbnb? What is the best bedroom count for Airbnbs? What is the best property manager for Airbnbs? Are ski resorts a good investment? All right, so it nailed every search I looked into an Airbnb. There was hundreds of people giving tons of really useful, relevant information, and TikTok was able to show me exactly what I was looking for about 99% of the time. But as you can see, once I started looking into ski resorts, which is a lot more niche, right? There's not nearly as many people talking about it, not nearly as many people doing it. It gave me nothing. So the general theme here is if you're doing stuff that's broad, you're doing stuff that a lot of other people are out there looking to do, that means there's a lot of people talking about it, then there will be all the information you need from a lot of relevant sources on TikTok. But when you want to get specific information on things that a lot of people maybe perhaps aren't looking for, right? Some of those lower volume searches in Google, you're gonna have a much tougher time in TikTok. Now moving on, I wanna test two more things, and that's location stuff. So that's planning trips, but also local, things near me. I've heard TikTok's really moving in that direction. And so we're gonna head out here, we're gonna find a place to eat, we're gonna go eat our lunch, we're gonna use TikTok to find the place to eat locally, and then we're gonna finish by planning our trip coming up to the Philippines. All right, so I'm in my car, not driving, I promise. And we're gonna pick a place here. I live in a place called Utah County. So first gonna see if TikTok can figure it out just near me, right? That's how I type it into Google, is best restaurants near me. So we'll see if TikTok can do something similar. Okay, and you can see here it's got some really good looking food. I love the visual aspect. However, this is in Cambridge. This one looks like it's in Marlow Heights. So it's not very good at actually telling me what's near me. So I'm gonna type in best restaurants, Utah County. Now that first one just looks like a blog post, right? Like there's nothing visual about it. That's really not what TikTok's all about. It's just someone talking about their 5 favorite restaurants. But scrolling down, you can see I've got awesome looking sushi. Whatever that dessert is looks incredible. Best burgers in Utah, best Italian in Utah. So I think I'm gonna have to get a little more specific, and I'm gonna have to say best barbecue, because that's kind of what I'm in the mood for here. And we'll once again say Utah County. And you can see here, it's a pretty good search. You can see this, I get this Korean barbecue place where they once again kind of just show me walking through their experience at the restaurant. I have this Bam Bam's barbecue that is near me. I start from the outside, it walks in, kind of just goes over this person's experience inside. And then the one that got me is this one right here. that food looks absolutely fabulous. I love that it just walks me through the restaurant, right? I get to go in, I get to see the menu right here, and then it looks like someone just ordered everything on that menu in order for me to see. I get the beef, the brisket, the ribs, the chicken, moves on to cornbread, the beans, everything. So I love how visual that was. In 30 seconds I can look and I can see the restaurant, I can see the inside of the restaurant, me walking in, I can experience that, and I can actually see all the food that I could potentially order and see what the actual food that's coming out of the restaurant is going to look like. Let's go get some barbecue. They nailed it. I gotta add here, I really wish TikTok would take me to my own profile when I opened up the app and not directly to my homepage, because once again, I just wasted 10 minutes scrolling through TikToks as soon as I got home on accident. Anyway, what we're gonna be doing here now is we're gonna try to plan an entire vacation using just TikTok. We're gonna start with broad stuff that I think it can answer, but we're gonna get detailed at the end and see if it can help me find people, tour guides and things like that as well. All right, so we're gonna start with the best places to visit in Philippines. This one was easy. I watched 4 or 5 videos. There was one location that came up on every single video I watched, and that was El Nido, so we'll say places to visit in El Nido. Okay, I'm gonna click this first video and really see if this gives us a good idea, and maybe a better idea than Google would of clicking on things. Now you can see right here, it's gonna show us this resort. It shows us a video of everything as it kind of scrolls across. I get to see the drinks, I get to see the menu, I get to see, a video of every part of the room. I get to see the bathroom, and really it's an experience, right? I get to see the whole experience of what someone experiences who stays at that resort. In terms of variety, as I start scrolling through here, you can see everyone's just kind of talking about their hotel, so I can't get really quantitative data, right? Where I actually get to see like, hey, 100% of people like this place, no one liked this place. It's more like, I like this place, right? Just qualitative data where I get to see individual people and their opinion on where they're staying. And then I really like just the visual aspect of it where they basically video themselves walking in, they show the menu, they show everything. Best places to eat, El Nido. And again, best places to eat, El Nido. Same thing, I can move through and get 10, 15, 20 different places in a matter of a few minutes. Now I really like that it's visual because I basically just scroll until I find something that looks good or catches my eye, and this one on the right really does look pretty good. Honestly, travel is by far my favorite so far. It's quick, it's 60 seconds or less, it's visual. I'm not just reading this post with an occasional picture, right? I'm like experiencing exactly what I'm going to experience if I went and stayed there or ate there or visited there. And every single one so far that I've seen is from people that are actually living there or actually visiting there right at that moment, which is huge for me, right? I want to see people that know and have experienced it. Now, I tried to actually find tour guides as well, like people that I could hire, right? So places you would find maybe if you searched in Google and ended up on TripAdvisor or something, and you can see when I type in best tour guides in El Nido, it mixes it up a little bit, so I do get stuck with things like here's the best tours, but 2 down below I can see here are 2 tour guides I can kind of just meet and decide if I like them, right? I can click in here, this guy looks really, really fun, and I can reach out and hit him up and see if he's interested in doing a tour. And clicking to the next one, you can see I can click into that, and once again, see a tour guide. Someone's talking about their experience on this tour with Golden Monkey Travel and Tours. And so I can really just see exactly what my experience would be like, be on the boat, and do all that in about 20 seconds. And even looking for private van drivers, you can see here, I'm able to find multiple people that show their vans, that have private vans that I can book to kind of drive you around the island, because you don't typically rent a car, you book a van with a driver. And you can see here, I can find multiple of them, I can click in, and then I can message these different people and hire these van drivers. Honestly, a 30-minute binge session, and I feel like I have a very, very good idea of exactly how I want to go about this, where I want to go, where I want to stay, everything like that. And I've got some really cool tips and pointers that I don't think I typically get from Google. Overall, some things were so much better. It delivers the information much faster. It's much more visually engaging and enjoyable to do that research. And most of that information was coming from real life people that have experienced exactly what I'm trying to experience. Once you get into the hyper details of any kind of planning or research or anything like that, then it seems like a good time to transition to Google, because there's a lot more information and a lot more detailed information specifically. But I can absolutely see why so many millennials and a lot of people in general are starting to switch over here, because it's a much more enjoyable way to do research and learn. I'm going to be using TikTok more, and I'm going to be starting to create more content on TikTok to see how it does. Because as always, when seismic shifts like this happen, there's massive opportunities. And the real question here is, will you and I be taking advantage of these opportunities?